For those of you who are curious out there about how to get the most out of coaching, stay tuned because that's what we're going to talk about in this video. First, we're going to talk about why is coaching important. You may or may not already have a coach. You may be thinking about hiring a coach. So what is it that you're going to get out of it and why that's important? We're also going to discuss the 3 key areas and the 4 stages of a really great engagement with a coach to make sure that that's how you're approaching it and they are too. And then lastly, we're going to find out, are you coachable? Because that's really the key behind all of this. So strap in, let's get started. So as I mentioned, we're going to start with why is coaching important? So coaching gives us an opportunity to know ourselves better. There is knowledge and then there's knowledge. There's knowing and then there's knowing. Coaching is fantastic for making the distinction between the two. There's also a big difference between awareness and awakening. And then lastly, becoming conscious of something, aware of something versus activating something new. So let's get started on the 3 key areas. The first key to coaching is awareness, raising the awareness, and working with a coach can help you do that because you can't see yourself. So working with a coach, they can hear you, they're listening for certain things, and they're going to help you raise your awareness about who you're being and how you're doing things. That's number 1. Number 2, the key is, I've mentioned it already, but being coachable. Really showing up and wanting to change. There's nothing worse than talking to somebody and trying to help them, but they don't want to help themselves. So that's also something, a key to know about coaching. It's not something that's done to you, you are the one doing it. And the third one, as we talk about the 4 stages of coaching, don't skip one of these. It goes in order. And while coaching isn't necessarily always a linear process, I guarantee you're going to get the most out of coaching if you follow these 4 stages. All right, are we ready? Great. So stage 1 is about uncovering. And this is one of my favorite stages because this is really where you see a client, and even when I'm being coached by my coaches, you raise awareness about something, and it's about taking things off that are not you. And to illustrate this point, I want to talk about the David, the one in Italy. And when asked how Michelangelo was able to create this stunning work of art from one single slab of marble, he simply shrugged and said, I took off everything that wasn't the David. Can you imagine what beautiful work of art is inside of you right now that's being covered up by either others' opinions about yourself, maybe some programming from culture? All these things are good and parts of our personality, and when they are getting in the way of us moving forward, that's an opportunity to take a look at why it's there, and if it's not you, take it off. Stage 2, once you start to uncover things, is really to discover, who are you? Now that the marble is off, who are you? Who's inside? Is it David? Is it you? I know I've met myself many, many times in that process, and it's really invigorating. So one of the things that goes on at this stage is learning about your power centers and where your energy lies, really where you affect the most in the world. So one of the things in this stage is taking a look at that programming. Now that everything is off of you, what is that program that's running? I like to say we're just like computers. I mean, we made them, right? So if you look at it, it's just like programming a computer. So in this stage, you begin to find your own human code. And this is why a coach is critical, and a very good coach is critical to the stage, because they're listening for where you've got bugs and glitches, and they're going to help you find them and then reprogram the way that you want to be. In the third stage, this is about exploration. So I like to say it's a little bit like the giraffe that's come out and there's the wobbly legs in stage 1 and 2. Well, really in 2. And 1, you're like, what? Okay. So in stage 3, this is where you get to take your backpack of all the stuff that you've learned about the world, about yourself, and you get to explore and you get to manifest. So that could look like a relationship, that could look like real travel, that could look like any kind of new journey that you might want to go on, that a new job or whatever it is that you then discover from that place that you may want or not want. anymore in your life. So that's a very exciting stage as well. And then lastly, in stage 4, this is about building and maintaining. It's the rinse and repeat. So once you've learned the process of uncovering and self-awareness and discovering more about what's inside of you already, and then exploring things that you may now from that place really want to be doing or not doing, or being or not being, then it's about strapping that rocket to your back and shooting for the moon. Rinse and repeat, it means you can do this process over and over and over again. So anytime that I feel like there's something that I want, I really go into that self-awareness journey. And if I can't quite reach it, I'll call one of my coaches and ask them to have a conversation with me. And in that conversation, I know that they are listening from a place of, where is this Megan, where is this not Megan, if that makes sense. And from there, we're able to uncover and discover, explore, and then build and maintain. And lastly, I told you I would mention about that thing about being coachable, that showing up is the first step and being open is the second. One of my mentors told me that he only likes to work with thirsty horses. In other words, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And coaching is a lot like that. Not only is it a process that's a bit mysterious, it is also sometimes very confronting, because you're really opening your life up for discussion with another person and then going out there and making the changes. That can be hard. That can be very hard. So having somebody, a coach, along the way of those stages of ascension and raising your consciousness and designing the life that you really want, it's so critical to have an ally on that road with you. So I hope this helped. I hope that you'll find either the right coach or a coach if you haven't already. If you're the kind of person with a fire in your belly and you know that there's a better way to do things, then you're gonna love this. I have a fun and free diagnostic tool for you to use to see if you're calibrated to your highest flow of energy. If you've watched any of my other videos on this channel, you'll know that I talk a lot about energy centers for people and organizations and how they're either harnessing their flow or experiencing leaks. It's an easy tool that you'll get a lot of benefit from, and you can use it over and over again. Head to the link below to download it and get calibrating. It's been so fun being on Michelle's channel. She is the epitome of a great coach and mentor, so this has been a privilege. I hope to see you in my next video.